On to the campaign and a political tussle, if you will, in the Tea Party. Michelle Bachmann has long been a favorite of that movement, but the support may be slipping big time. One Tea Party group is now calling for the Minnesota Congresswoman to pull the plug on her presidential campaign. She calls it a political dirty trick. What does it mean for Bachmann if she is no longer the darling of the Tea Party? Stephen Dennis is with us. He is the White House reporter for CQ Roll Call. Thanks for being with us, Stephen. You know,
great to be here.
The head of this Tea Party group is essentially accusing Bachmann of being a blatant opportunist, which in politics, of course, is redundant. But the group also said this, and we'll put it up on the screen. Let's face it, she's a backbencher and has been a backbencher congressperson for years. This is not a serious presidential campaign. Her campaign has become less about reform and more about her personal effort to stay relevant and sell books. You know what, Stephen, judging by the polls, not to mention her staffing and fundraising problems, do they have a point?
Look, I mean, her campaign has all kinds of problems right now. And this is just one more blow. I mean, whether it be her fundraising problems, her campaign staff, some of them leaving, you know, the last thing she needs is the lifeblood of her support, the Tea Party, that she's ridden to prominence, start to crack beneath her feet. Now, if this expands beyond one Tea Party group to other Tea Party groups, and you start seeing a chorus saying,
right,
hey, get out of the race, that would be a lot bigger deal. Now, the thing is, she's trying to say, well, this guy's a Rick Perry supporter, that's being debated, and that this is a dirty trick. The thing is that might get you a little bit of media attention, right, which is something that she's been needing of late. It's been hard for her to break through, but it kind of comes across as being, you know, playing the victim card. And as dirty tricks go, you know, somebody saying that you're just not up for the job, you know, that's standard politics.
Sure.
That's not really a dirty trick.
She was asked if she had any evidence that it was Rick Perry behind this, and she said, well, no, which doesn't reflect well on her. She also responded, Stephen, by writing, I'm the Tea Party candidate and have been since I came to Congress, which of course is impossible since Bachmann came to Congress 2 years before the Tea Party movement began. Are the wheels just falling off the Bachmann campaign and it's just not going to go anywhere?
Well, look, it's looking very tough for her. You know, how is she going to recover from what's been, you know, a steady downfall from the Ames straw poll that she won? Since then, right, her poll ratings have sunk. She's got to do something significant, dramatic to try and stir things up. And in the meantime, you know, Herman Cain has surged, right, and it's been hard for her to find any kind of momentum to bring back the magic she had this summer.
Let me switch you over to Governor Rick Perry, who seems to be escalating his attacks on Mitt Romney, calling him a fat cat and urging him to release his tax returns, accusing him of shifting positions on everything from guns to abortion, gay rights, global warming. In fact, here's Perry. Let's play a clip just the other night on Bill O'Reilly's program. Here it is.
You can't be for banning guns and then all of a sudden you're, you know, for the Second Amendment. You can't be for the issue of abortion and then you're pro-life.
Think he's a weasel?
I mean, you can't be on both sides of these issues.
You think he's a weasel? You think he doesn't have any principle?
I think in his own words he says, listen, you know, I need to say whatever I need to say for whatever office I'm running for. How do you change at the age of 50 or 60? Positions on life, positions on guns, positions on traditional marriage. I mean, those aren't minor issues, Bill. So to change those at age of 50 or 60 tells you all you need to know about that.
You know what, Perry does have a bit of a reputation as sort of a ruthless engager of tactics, campaign tactics, and so forth. Is he hurting Romney or is he hurting himself?
Well, look, with him, you know, in the polls, he's going down to the single digits. He needs to take the gloves off and try and shake up this race, too. And, you know, you're going to start seeing more of this. I mean, the two things that Rick Perry has going for him, he's got sharp elbows and he's got deep pockets. You know, he's been able to raise money. He's going to be able to go up on TV in the early primary states. And he's got to lay some gloves on Mitt Romney. He's had even more personal attacks earlier, the illegal immigrant landscaping issue,
right.
That kind of stuff. So the thing for Perry, I think, is he's got to figure out which Rick Perry wants to be. You know, he's been sort of flailing away this past week. He was trying to have, be the serious Rick Perry with his 20% tax plan, have a flat tax. And he kind of stepped on that message with some of these other attacks with, talking about the birther issue. And I think, where is he going to focus next? And maybe the best
right.
thing for him to do is to focus on Mitt Romney, the flip-flopper. But, that's a bit of an old storyline, too.
Let me ask you, the word is that the Romney folks seem to think that Perry is the most serious rival of all, even though Herman Cain's standing in the polls would seem to belie that theory. Is Perry formidable because he's got a load of cash? He's got a big campaign war chest, and Herman Cain does not.
It's not just that. It's also organization. Perry's got a campaign. Part of that's because he can raise money to afford to pay them, but he's the governor of Texas. He's got a history. He's running a more conventional campaign than Herman Cain is, and so there's a sense that he might have some staying power. And I think a lot of the other campaigns look at Herman Cain and they're kind of befuddled. They don't really want to attack him too much because he's so popular.
Right.
You might end up hurting yourself, and I think they think he's going to come back to earth on his own. And so that Perry-Romney dynamic, the professional politicians in Washington certainly see those two guys as the ones most likely to be the last two standing.
All right. Whatever happened to the 11th commandment? All right, Stephen Dennis, good to see you. Thanks.
Great to be here.